Hi friends, it's Tracy from the Financial Freedom Diary, and today we are going to be going over some debt reduction calculators. There's two that I know that are free, and so I wanted to share that with you guys today. One is from Vertex 42 and the other one is from Undebt.it. I have already saved a version of the Vertex 42 to my computer. I am going to be using the one for Google Sheets because I use a little Chromebook here, and mainly I just use it for the internet and when I do stuff for the videos and stuff like that. I don't really do a lot at home because I actually work on the PC all day long. It's like, give me a book, give me anything, but not another computer. And so I already have a copy of that already saved. I'll make sure I leave some links in the description box below to both tools because I know different people like different things. Now, I am a nerd, so I use all the things and I tried them out. And then that's how I found like which one I like better. But there are aspects of each that I appreciate. So I'm going to share that with you guys today. And if you're new to my channel and you haven't had a chance to subscribe, please subscribe below. I appreciate this. And I hope you all are having a great day. But yeah, and so this is the Google Sheets version for the debt reduction calculator. And then also you'll see they have other templates out here. They have a lot of templates on Vertex 42, and I have downloaded quite a few things off of here, especially like for work where I need a Gantt chart, I'm looking for a calendar, or I'm doing certain things. I'll download from here just to use for my job too, because sometimes I get tired of looking for stuff at work. I get tired of looking, tired of asking, but that's neither here nor there. We are going to jump into this workbook, but they also have a YouTube video that will show you how to use the sheet. My main purpose of showing you this is to show you my old payments versus my new payments, and to decide if I'm going to make an extra payment or not. Okay, so we're going to switch over from this one to another window where I actually have the debt reduction worksheet already saved into my Google Sheets, and we're going to get working on that. So we're in the debt reduction calculator worksheet, or this is the Google Sheet version. And so please excuse me if I use some Excel language here because I'm not sure about the Google language for stuff. So here we're inside the workbook, and I've already clicked the button that said I wanted to edit it or I was going to use it or something. There's a button that's on the screen, so I clicked that so I can get in here and set this up so that way I didn't waste you guys' time. Here I blew this column up, which is column G, where they have the interest only, and the font is normally like an 8, and I blew it up to 12 because I wanted to show you guys something. Here's all the loans that I have left. The balance for Fed loan L17 is actually subtracting out my payment that I made earlier today. And you'll see I have all the payments here. And so you'll see for this particular one, the interest is only $6.76. My payment is $16.70. So I actually pay enough to actually pay the interest for the month and also put some to principal, which is roughly like $9 and some change, right? So now let's move down and look at N19. That's not the case. Here, the interest for the month would be $23.32, and I am making a payment of $19.17. Now, the thing with these debt reduction calculators, they are able to look into the future so they can balance the number of days in the month that they're going to charge you interest on, and so it kind of varies from month to month. When you see me doing it by hand, I don't care about that. I just say, okay, what's the maximum number of days that is in a month in a year, and the max date is, I'm going to tear this lamp up, is 31 days. And that's what I always use. I just keep it there. So that way it makes sense to me. But you can see here, this is going against September, and this is what's going to make Undebt good. I'm going to show you something Undebt when you're doing your projections in there. And so let's go down here to my big boy. My big one is T20. That's the one that's $15,294.48. And you'll see my interest only is $83.49, but my payment was $68.67. So that's why you guys saw that when I did a revised debt snowball for 2019, I had a whole column in there that was just for interest only, because my payments did not cover the interest for every loan, only some of them. So now we're going to go in and we're going to put in my payments after I just got recertified. And I think I did that in June or July. And so now on the website, it actually shows new payment amounts. And so we're going to plug that in here next. Okay, so I have everything plugged in with my new payment amounts. So now you're saying that now for L17, I'm going to be paying 2122. That's going to cover my interest for that particular loan. For Fed Loan N, I am going to be paying 2426. For O, I'm going to be paying 2584, and that's enough to cover that interest. And this is enough to cover that particular interest, which was $23.32. For P9, it's $32.35, and so my interest was $27.30. For Q16, $39.61, and the interest is $38.07. 46 for R is a payment, 46 even. It's kind of weird. Everything else has changed, but this one, the interest is $44.22. For S13, $46.84, and my interest is going to be $45.03. And for T20, my payment is going to be $86.86. And the amount of interest I would have accrued is $83.49. So in all of these, I am now going to be paying more than the interest I will accrue for the month. There are some I am very uncomfortable with. 011 is one, N19 is one, Q16 is another one. I guess Q, R, and S, I'm uncomfortable with them. I would like to put more to those, and it probably like an extra $5 on everything to cover just in case, just a oopsie. It's not going to do anything much to the principal, but at least I'll know for sure I got the interest covered. And so that's what my plan is going forward. I did want to share that with you guys. I don't know if my payments is actually going to change, because they had already sent me a letter saying my payment for the month was going to be $345, and I've been paying them off since I got that paperwork. So I'm guesstimating that these payments that they have in the site could change so that they can get me a payment on all of my loans that's closer to the $345. I'm not adverse to that, and I'm okay with that. Okay. Now, as you scroll down in this workbook, they have what the monthly payment is. This is what they put in. It was $800, and then what the initial snowball is. And so I can actually change that and say my monthly payment for all of my student loans is going to be $2,300. And then it's going to tell me how much is going to go to my snowball once it gets finished updating. I'm trying to make it go, but I forgot this is a little bit slower. So it's 1977.02 there. And so you can see they have the strategy here, and this is going by the interest from highest to lowest. So I'm going to actually change this strategy, and I'm going to put it on the snowball. And we're going to let this catch up, and I'm not going to jump the gun this time. There we go. And so it prioritizes everything down here. And then you can see here how long it's going to take me to pay things off. So it's estimating that I'll be finished paying for L17 in September. Now, it does not know that I have 0% interest because I actually put the interest in here. It doesn't know that I'm putting all that money onto just the one loan and stuff like that. So that's why it's doing this like this, because I'm choosing a time when interest is due, all that good stuff. Now I want to see something. It has a total amount of interest that's going to be paid. And it also has some other tabs down here. So it has like the payment schedule, and it has all your loans. And you're going to see something very similar to this when we get into Undebt.it. And the number of months to pay off on my loans. I keep going down here because I'm so used to having so many of them. And I just put in 2,300 in here, but really I think it's 26. But I just didn't put that in here for this particular one. And I do like looking at this, the monthly payments across time. I love seeing that. That's my jam, y'all, because sometimes I get asked, how do I stay motivated to pay off my student loans? A lot of times this picture right here tells me the sacrifice I'm going to make. If I do something that's going to cost me $500-$600, it can push me out one more month. And so do I want to do that? And so then I have to rethink that purchase or rethink that decision, so that I don't want to do this another month, because it's already going to be close to 5 years. Yeah, I think it's going to be 5 years once I do pay these off. And so that is a tough pill to swallow. It's a long journey, and I don't want an extra month added onto it. So that is this one. Now, one of the things I wanted you to see here was this right here. You're going to see when we get into Undebt.it. Undebt.it can do both of these scenarios. I think I would have to backdate this one to make it fill in August, but it starts off in September. Okay, so there's that. I also, there was something about this setup because they have a snowball chart here. And so we got our total balance over here and we got our snowball here. And so this is like showing you the balance in here when you highlight down up here. I didn't care for this at all. And it's not that it's this tool. It's like, okay, are you showing me total balance at the end of the month? What are we doing here? And I probably need to watch the video. But I didn't really care for it. Even though I am a visual person, this one doesn't really do it for me. Yeah, so there was that. And so I was looking down here. I'm trying to get down to what my total balance is December 20. So I'm like, is that the end of the month for December, or what is that? Like, what are we talking about? Is that the beginning or the end? Those are the questions that I had for this right here. But it's pretty accurate with this amount. I'm going to go back and change. I'm going to change this. And the only thing, I hate being committed to 2,600 over time because my lease has to be renewed April of 2021. Did I say that right? My lease has to be renewed, and so that is going to change things because that means my rent is going to go up. I got in on a deal, and so that's why my rent is what it is today. So with that, let's see what it says for December. December is saying 45. January is like 42. So that's just estimate for me. And I'm trying to get under 49K, and I think I'm on track, but I estimated myself to be around 43K by the end of December. So that's what I'm estimating. So I'm going to hop out of here and we're going to go right into Undebt.it. I'm setting up all of my currently outstanding student loans. This took me about 10 minutes to do. I didn't want you guys to have to sit through that because it is a little time consuming. Luckily for me, I have everything written out, and so it didn't take that much for me. And so I will fully disclose up front that as you're setting it up, and if you have a mixed pile of debt, that it can be time consuming. So it's one of those, get you a glass of wine or something and just plug everything in versus thinking it's going to be done in like 2 minutes. The more you have, the longer it's going to take. But I will say that it's worthwhile because it paints a complete picture when you're done. My highest balance on my student loans are the amounts that were showing back in June of 2017. So I have all of that in my bullet journal. And so I just had all the information right in front of me and I just started plugging away. And so to save time, I just sped this up, I think about 6 times the normal speed. Okay, so I've already set up everything and I skipped ahead to the debt snowball table. I'm gonna go back to the dashboard for you guys because I wanted to show you something. So when I want to post a payment in here, after I do that, I actually click on that particular loan and I will go in and put in the payment. You can do a payment or a purchase, but in my case, these are all student loans, so I don't do any kind of purchasing with them. And y'all know I ain't even trying to get out here and make a bigger mess than what I already got. So you can see up here what my debt-free date is, June 2022, as well as the balance. Now that 2022 debt-free date is based off of a $2,600 debt payment. I want to show you guys the payoff plan section here. And we're going to go to the debt snowball table. Now here you can see what I initially plugged in was 2,600, and so I can change it right here in this section. And it uses the current month. You can actually have it skip ahead 1 month, but I like for it to use the current month, but you can change that. And you also can change this over here. You can tell it you want to use the debt avalanche, a hybrid, or any of these other ones. But I like to either use like the debt snowball, or I might click on the debt avalanche or something like that. I normally don't do that often. I normally like to just keep it on the debt snowball because for me, it's the payment method that works the best for me because I get to see some instant gratification, I guess. So it helped me stay focused on what I'm doing. Now, and so you can see it does the same thing as what we saw in Vertex 42, with showing you the debt payment table. And so you can see my very last payment is going to be $612.17. So if I want to know what do I need to do to pay that off earlier, I can come up here and play with this number. So if I want to get another number, and this I want to say, well, what happens if I get $2,700? If I pay that, what is my debt-free date then? It then jumps to May 22. May 2022. 2022 just is horrible to say. And now the next thing I have is $991 in May to pay. So you can see just that increment of another $100 has a big return. And so that's why I try not to do too much when it comes to paying off my debt and trying to reward myself and stuff like that. I try to hold off as much as I can. And then let's put in 2,800. And then after this one, we're going to jump to 3,000 because 3,000 is technically my goal debt payment. And so you see how now I'm back up in April of 2022. In my account that I have set up, the old one that's kind of like trash, because it's horrible. My balance is actually higher in there because I don't keep it up to date. But it shows May, but I think I put in my goal payment is $2,700, which is what you guys see when I set up my planner. When I set up my budget planner, you'll see that I want to pay $2,700 to my debt. That's where it came from. It's actually in here because it was a number I played around with. And so it's like, okay, let's go with 2,700. And there it is. So that's where it comes from. If I could do 3,000, that will move me up to a debt-free date of March 2022. Yes, I think I said that right. But yeah, and so you can see how it moves that up, and then you can see it's like a $300 payment. I mean, imagine if I just put an extra $5, $10, $15, $20 to that $3,000, it changes it again. But that's what I like to do. I like to play with it and then just click the button and wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. It does the recalculation. And to me, it's faster. You can download this Excel. I did this originally, and I think I may have that sheet saved on a flash drive somewhere. That thing was huge. It was huge. And I won't lie, it was sobering, and it was, how do I say it? I kind of felt defeated at first, but it's one of those things where you got to look the monster in the face. It's the only way you can have a fight is if you look it in the face. You got to see it. You got to recognize what it is. And then after that point, you can strategize how to conquer it. You know, you can't conquer it if you've never seen it. And so that's why I like this tool right here. And so here it does a comparison. And what I did was I got that from underneath the payoff plan to compare methods. I like that. So yay, this is like my favorite page, because if I want to flip and say, let's say I want to go from the debt snowball and I want to switch to the debt avalanche, how is it going to work out for me? And so does it change my dates when I'm my monthly budgeted amount to go to my debt is $2,700. Look at that date. May 2022, May 2022. I can't say that no more. Same date. And then when you go down here for these other methods that I don't know very many people that use it, you'll see all the dates are the same. None of them get me ahead of the other one, but that's under these circumstances because almost all my student loans have the same interest rate. So you can also see how much interest I'm going to pay when I'm done using the snowball method, $3,359, and how much interest I'm going to pay if I use the debt avalanche method, and what if I use a hybrid. And so you can see these two are the same, but you can see either way, I have 22 months to go. And yeah, the avalanche just saves me on interest, but it doesn't really reduce the time in this case. So it saves me $59. It's not bad. I'll take it. You put $59 on the table, you know I'll take it. But it's not anything real big. Some parts of this application is for if you have the paid version. I don't really use all that extra stuff. I don't really need it. And so then you have your I like to look at the overall progress sometimes, and then it has that right there, that 1 year, 8 months until I'm debt free. And see here, you can see paid and monthly interest is like $292.99. Yeah. And I told you that was my goal during the 0% interest time frame, was to get that interest under $300, honey, because it was about $400 before. And it was way too much. And we're not even going to consider how much interest I was paying when I first got started because of all the stuff that I had. So yeah. These tools kind of put everything in your face. You're able to see what my snowball is because I'm sharing all this stuff with you guys. But I want you to, if you want to, choose one of these. I personally would try out both and see which one I like. Now, I am a person who still goes back to my pen and paper. I'll grab one of my notepads and I'll write it out. But normally when I do it on pen and paper, I am only trying to look ahead for a year or a calendar year. That's as far as I'm trying to go. I'm not trying to do all of this, what these tools can do, and that's what I like about them. And so I wanted to come in and just share this stuff with you guys, share some things that I've used throughout my debt-free journey, and hopefully one of them can help you, because sometimes you guys ask me where it comes from, and a lot of it's not off the dome. I wish I was a genius like that. But no, it is using different tools, trying things out, seeing what works for me. And I will, if I get super, super busy, I will totally forget about all this stuff and I'll just rely on pen and paper. I will be in my bed at night, trying to get my brain to shut off so I can fall asleep. And I'll be sitting there doing the numbers and trying to make sure I am on track and I'm doing the things that I'm supposed to be doing. And so I hope y'all like this video, and I'll try to make sure that I put in timestamps for when I switched from Vertex 42 to when I switched to Undebt.it, but please give both of them a try. Some people are Excel people, some people are like web application people, and some people are pen and paper people. I am a person who I want to try all, but the thing that really sticks in my head is pen and paper, because the motion of constantly writing things down, it's up in my head. But I like looking at this. It gives me hope, and it gives me a goal to shoot for. So if you're just starting out and those numbers are big and your debt is like 1 times, 2 times your income, I started at almost 2 times my income in debt. It's hard looking at this, but keep doing it and facing it, because now you know where you need to start. You know what you need to do with that income to get that debt to move further in. Because when I first did this, I did it by hand. I put it in this bullet journal right here, and I got to 7 years. And so May 2022 is about 5 years from when I started. I started June of 2017. So I was able to kick that off by focusing on increasing my income, decreasing my expenses. And I make it sound simple, but it's challenging to do when you're just getting started and you're looking at that uphill. It is very hard. And so I won't discount that. I won't discount all the work I had to go through. I won't discount going to FPU and the blessing that Dave Ramsey was to my life. Coming in this to his podcast, I was like, dude. But when I went to FPU and I saw the other side to him, I actually understood where some of the context came from that was on his podcast and stuff. But I actually like the guy. I mean, he actually saved me from myself, is the way I feel. And so try these tools out. They are awesome. I like them both, but my preferred one is Undebt.it. And so I hope you guys have a super fantastic day. So I'm going to round this out in this video because I am just chatting along, and I will talk to y'all later. And if you haven't had a chance to subscribe to my channel, please consider subscribing below. And any other tools that I have, sometimes I have to pop into them to remember that I actually use them. But I'll make sure that I share that with you guys, because if it's free, y'all know I'm probably using it. And if I don't use it all the time, there's a reason behind it. But I'll make sure I share that stuff with you guys. But y'all have a great one, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye.